Scott, so a big day for television today with the announcement about this new way of measuring. Give us a little overview on sort of the considerations that went into it and how you see the importance of it and kind of a bit of the roadmap.
Sure, and thanks for having me back, Andy. It's always a pleasure to join you. But yeah, it's a big day for not only television, but for just the advertising and marketing industry as a whole, because really what Nielsen announced today is our Nielsen One initiative, which is all about how we bring the measurement of the linear world together with streaming and digital. And so what it means for us is we are building a comparable measurement system that measures traditional television, measures mobile and computer platforms, and also kind of the center of where the two worlds begin to collide is connected TV and the streaming services that have recently launched. We have built a measurement system and are rolling out the data over the next couple of years to transition the industry away from buying and selling advertising in separate silos for linear versus programmatic advertising, and moving to one single methodology and approach for doing the measurement. So what it means for us is essentially our traditional core linear television business will be merging with the measurement that we have been instrumenting as part of our total audience initiative around measuring streaming services and measuring digital devices, so that marketers can go to one place to see their total reach for their given campaigns, and then complement that data with a view of Nielsen ratings or Nielsen measurement of content itself, so that the Nielsen ratings themselves will also be a total video view going forward.
Now, Scott, unlike a lot of product announcements we hear, it's going to be in Q1. This is going to take a while. Tell us about this consideration of the timeline and some of the challenges and milestones you need to accomplish to make this work.
Yeah, happy to do so. So there is a lot here, and the final product launch that I was just describing is in 2022, but there's a lot of changes that we're actually bringing to the market within the next few weeks and going into 2021. So I'll talk about those. So first and foremost, the underpinnings of a true cross-media currency solution that we're looking to build is the ability to not only measure different screens at a person's level or provide demographic data, but also to deduplicate those audiences. And so starting in January, so just in a few short weeks, Nielsen will be launching its new methodology for measuring digital audiences and deduplicating those audiences with linear measurement. And what that solution entails is integrations and partnerships with the walled gardens, along with a new Nielsen ID that we have been building out with different data sources, most notably our Nielsen panel as well. So that gets rolled out early next year, and it's kind of the fundamental methodology for not only how we measure digital audiences, but how we do that elusive deduplication. Because what marketers need to understand when they're buying their ad buys is they need to understand where their audiences are or are not overlapping by platform, so they can begin to optimize frequency, which has been talked about as a problem in the industry for some time. So we start to roll that out early next year, as I had mentioned. The other thing that we're doing in 2021 is we are also bringing big data into our core television ratings themselves. So that will include data from smart TVs and from set-top boxes coming into the actual core ratings in 2021. So in 2021, we will be showing what that data looks like, going through an MRC audit. But the end game for us is to begin to measure those 55 million devices that we're adding to our measurement along with our panel to really measure more addressable advertising. So we've partnered with Vizio, DirecTV, Dish, as well as Nielsen's own advanced video advertising group to measure the ad tech that they're bringing to the market and actually provide that as part of our currency. And then the final thing we're doing in 2021 as we lead up to the final product launch in 2022 is we're going to start to preview data in the second half of next year that shows audience estimates for each individual advertisement that airs on live television, providing that view with the addressable advertising that is present, and begin to show how that dovetails with the digital world, which already kind of provides that level of granularity and campaign level metrics. So while you're right, the final product takes a little bit to roll out, but that's because there's fundamental changes that have to get implemented, that are going to get audited. And we ultimately show a lot of data to the industry because we know that our data underpins over $100 billion of advertising. So we want to be thoughtful with how we roll this out and demonstrate data to our customers in the broader marketplace before we make any drastic changes.
So Scott, is this for the US only, or what are the global implications or plans?
Yeah, great question. So the initial rollout and the timing and all of that I just mentioned is focused about the currency in the US, which is really us saying that we are eventually moving away from C3, C7 as the core fundamental television currency and pivoting to that cross-media currency that measures individual ads, rolls that up to a campaign level, and then provides a comparable metric with also measuring the audiences to content as well. From an international perspective, we are rolling out the same framework. So think about this as a global strategy that is going to be implemented locally in each market. Nielsen operates in over 30 countries around the world. We have television measurement in many of those countries. We have digital measurement in some of those countries. But ultimately, what we'll be doing is rolling out the same technology capabilities and the same underpinnings of methodology will be available to roll out in those markets. And as you know, and as many of the viewers know, international is a little bit different just because there are joint industry councils that operate in many of those markets that work through currency changes. So Nielsen will be working to build out those capabilities so that we can begin deploying those in partnership with those joint industry councils in the different markets where we have our measurement businesses.
And Scott, finally, I wanted to ask about the good old panels and the boxes in living rooms around the country, and sort of the changing value or the use of the panels, and how that sort of fits into this whole big plan.
Sure, great question. So, Nielsen's panels are probably what we're actually best known for historically, along with providing the metrics for the television currency. And the panel is going to still play a really important role, but it's going to play a little bit of a different role going forward. So, Andy, I think that a measurement solution to measure today's world and today's level of fragmentation that's going on with the consumers, it can't be a solution that's only based on the panel, because the panel will never be large enough to measure all of the different ways that consumers can access great content. But also, a solution cannot only be leveraging third-party data sets or census data sets, because all of those data sets do have their own biases and need to be corrected with a source of truth. And so going forward, our measurement solution will leverage both. So we will be bringing in data from walled garden partners, from network partners. I mentioned the smart TV data and data from set-top boxes earlier as well. So large amounts of data, petabytes of data will be coming in, and already are every single day, but that will be underpinned by Nielsen's panel. And in terms of what we're doing with the panel, there's a couple of really interesting things that we're doing to kind of support that and to use it as our main source of calibration and learning data to train our machine learning models that make corrections to the different data sets and apply demographics. So the first thing we're doing with the panel is we are making it fully cross-platform. So every home will be recruited in the future for measurement of the big screen. It will include streaming measurement. as well as measurement that we have rolled out for mobile and computer devices. The second thing we will be rolling out is a new proprietary technology that Nielsen has built that allows us to identify every single ad that ever airs on television and to credit the audience to those given ads at a second-by-second level of detail. So in the future, that's how we're being able to provide a foundation for giving individual second-by-second level data and audience estimates for each advertisement that airs on TV. And then what we'll do with that data is we will line that data up with the data that we're licensing and bringing in from other partners that we have, so that our panel has access to dish boxes, to Vizio TVs. They have YouTube accounts. They have different streaming services. And the way that we'll go about it in the future, Andy, is we'll be able to line up that consented data set that we have from the panel with these different third-party data sets to make corrections and adjustments like only Nielsen can. And so the panel will continue to be a major source of data for us, but it won't be the only source, as we know that we have to augment it in a fragmented universe that we work in now. But it is our way of making corrections, ascribing demographics, and ultimately making sure that our product is fully representative of the US population in a way that only Nielsen can do with the combination of these data sets.